Okay, this video we're going to talk about your theme options panel. And theme options panel controls various different things on your website. If you're familiar with WordPress, you've probably seen it before. But if not, no big deal. I'll do my best to go over everything. So let's go ahead and log in to the back end. And once we're logged in, if we come all the way down to the bottom, we'll see a section called Theme Options. And here we have a various set of options that we can do different things. So right now what you're going to see is my little upload button's a little wacky right here. I ignore that. That's going to be hopefully taken care of by the time anyone's using this theme. But in any event, what we'll first see is the section for general, and then we have a couple different tabs to do a couple different things. So first, what we'll see is the logo, and that's right here. So we can see that logo here on the front end of the site. So a quick thing to note about this is you need to upload the logo at the size it's supposed to be. Meaning, you know, if you're familiar with WordPress, it crops it for you. Okay, so if I have a large picture, for instance, in this banner, if I upload a large picture, it's going to size it right in here for me. I don't have to go in there and set it and goof with it. It does it for me. However, certain things in the back end of WordPress don't auto-size, and this logo is one of them. So be aware of that. Your logo needs to fit into this space if you're going to change it out. Don't upload some giant logo and expect it to, to fit in there perfectly. All right, so let's go in the back. Okay, next we have the favicon. Favicon is actually, we haven't uploaded it, I'm not sure why, but the favicon is what loads right here. And because there's missing one, you'll see, at least if you're in Chrome, you'll see this little piece of paper. So if I upload a favicon, it's going to fill that in. Let me actually show you real quick. Alright, so let me quickly upload here, grab my little image. Now, very important, the favicon needs to be 16 by 16 pixels, not any bigger than that, 16 by 16, and you need to have the ending of ICO. You'll see that right here, ICO. Alright, so I'm going to select that, use this image, there it is, save, and now if I refresh, what I should see, unless I'm making stuff up, is my little icon. There it is. Favicon, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, next is meta information. If you're using an SEO plugin of some sorts, you can ignore this. If not, you can come in here and basically give the meta description and keywords for your website. Your footer, I mean, this is self-explanatory. And then your contact information, the main system email, meaning if someone's contacting you and that kind of a thing, what email address do you want to receive? Do you want to receive this information to? So your email or some other one. And then obviously the header phone number, which we have right here. Okay? Whoops, wrong button. Let's go ahead and open another one before I forget. Okay, there we go. Let's get back to where we were. Not sure what I did, but... Alright, next we'll see the home page. Now this one... usually I try to keep my videos anywhere from 3 to 7 minutes. There will always be a couple times where I'll have a video that's going to approach that 12-15 minute mark. I try to avoid that as much as I possibly can. But this section is going to take a little bit of time, so I'm going to do my best to go over this and get through this tutorial. Anyways, this is a really important section, so I'll try to be as detailed as as possible. And obviously, pay attention as much as you can. Okay, now, when we come to the home page, we've got different things going on. We got a banner, and then below that, we have some featured sections, a featured video, a gallery, your book this day setup, testimonial, and some other stuff. All right. So this homepage section takes care of all this. All right. So first thing I want to point out is our slider. And I keep closing that out. I'm not even sure how I'm doing that, but I'm going crazy. We have our slider, and right now, I'm getting these random animations. So if I click these, they're not always the same. See how I got these different animations? Pretty cool, right? Well, with Anthem, we're using a couple different things for our slider. So what I want to show you is what I'm using is Skitter. And if I open this, I have 3 other options of slider to use. So what I want to first show is Skitter, and then I'll briefly cover these other ones. So skitter has a lot of different effects. So if I've chosen skitter, that's the banner type I want to use, the JavaScript type. Now below that it says random. So random actually is, which I'm sure you figured out, while we're looking and seeing different types of animations. Random animations, right? Okay, so maybe that's too much for you. If not, you have all these different animations just for skitter. So if I come in here and just choose one, let's say parallel, update, refresh. Now I'm going to have a different animation. So it's this parallel one. Always the same, right? So you can go in here and play around with some animations. I mean, how many are in here? 50? So pretty cool. So I'm going to leave it at random because I think that's pretty neat. Below that, you're going to have autoplay. That means you want it to auto slide by itself, yes or no. I'm going to set that to no. You want it to pause on hover, so if someone puts their mouse on it, is the animation going to stop? How much time between slides? This only is for autoplay. So I've set this to yes, so if I leave it as is, every 7 seconds, it's going to change. But I think it's a little long, so let's do 5. All right, and then how long in seconds are the slider effects? So right now it's set to 1. And when it starts to animate, how long is it taking? About a second. 1, right? So this is going to look really goofy. If I set this to 2, well, actually, some people may like this, but I set this to 2 seconds for animation time. And then refresh, or change it. Take a little bit longer. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's taking a little bit longer. All right? I prefer 1, maybe even half 1. Okay, and then we have a couple of the sliders in here. We have the anything slider. Here's your animations you get to choose from. These options down here will remain the same. But the only thing you're going to change is what kind of effects you can have. So, the Nivo's got quite a few. The skitter is my favorite personally because it has just a bunch of different animations to do. The parallax one, is pretty cool in the fact that that it slides and kind of everything moves with it. But see how that is? It kind of slides and moves with it. Okay, well that's enough for that section. Huh? Okay, next is the video. This section right here controls this. So, if we click the box, we get this nice little pop-up with the video in it. Really easy. Here's your title. Here is the thumbnail. So we can actually upload the picture. That's this right here, this thumbnail, this picture. Okay? And then your video URL. All you gotta do is paste in the URL of the video where it's coming from. So in this case, it's YouTube. Pretty straightforward. Your gallery right next to it, to the right of that, we can kind of have a little scrolling gallery people can kind of quickly look through. That's right here. Again, a gallery, the name you can give to that section. Where are these pictures being pulled from? So you'll see it says select featured gallery, homepage gallery. That can be found, and I'm going to cover this actually again because I have to go over the photo gallery on this site. But under photo gallery, here are the galleries for Anthem, and we'll see homepage gallery. Okay, so if I come back, and then here we are. Okay, so pretty easy. And then as well, you can choose which type of gallery you want, slider animation you want, anything slider, Nivo, and then the same thing in terms of effects. Booking. Okay, this is your booking form. Now, I'm gonna go a little faster over this section because there's a separate tutorial that's gonna be done that's gonna cover the booking and the forms. So on the site, for instance, if I come to the availability widget and I click this and I want to book, I get all this stuff going on, right? Well, I'm going to do a video that's just tied into this. And I'm going to come back and touch up on this section. So right now, this is kind of where you set this up, but if I go too fast for you, don't worry about it. I'll cover it again. But here's where you choose your booking form, the title, Here's the other index text, excuse me, the text widget text. You'll see, do you have the perfect date? Check to see if it's available. That's this right here. And then the button. So book this day, or book this event, or, you know, book now. And that's this right. See, book now. And again, I'm going to cover this, setting up this where it says form and some other stuff, so don't worry about it. You know, if you're asking yourself, well, what's that form? I'll cover that in a separate video. Testimonial. You have a section for testimonials here that I'm going to go over again in another video on how to set up testimonials. But basically, you choose the testimonial you want to show up. And that's that box right here. Okay. Next is the article. Now this section is really cool. This is what's showing up here in this section here. Okay. And you have a couple different things we can do. First is we can pull this from a page, meaning this is an actual page that's displaying this content, this section. So if I select choose page, then what's happened? I'm gonna have a drop down of pages that I can pull from. Okay, so that's one. All right, so you can actually make an actual page that does just does just that. Next is custom text. So we can just kind of do a title here. You can actually just type it out, maybe a link. You can upload an image, and you can actually align this image and that kind of a thing. I'm going to say this when we're going to look at it, but just keep in mind I didn't fully completely build this out. So here it is. Here's a button, here's a title, whatever. And if I had an image, I could have set the image up to the right or to the left of this. So you'll see I didn't fill this out all the way. Here's the image. I didn't align it, that kind of a thing. Okay. We could do just an image. So you can actually upload an image. So maybe maybe you have some sort of banner ad or whatever, something, some kind of sales something. You could put that there. And then last, HTML code. So maybe you have some kind of booking widget you're going to use, or some other embed code, a payment thing, something. You would set this up that way you can drop in code. All right, but we want to use this page because it looks nice. All right, and this real quick, if you're curious, welcome to Anthem Music Productions. That's the page. So the pages, there it is. Okay, so this is what's showing up on my homepage. That's right. Whoops, let's refresh. It's right here, see? Easy. All right, let's get back to what we're doing. Okay, testimonial article, and then your discount banner. That is this. And you'll see that all we have to do is just fill this out, name your button, and then give the button a link. Maybe it goes to the contact form, or maybe you got a shopping cart at some other website or something. You could set that up. Phew! Man, mouth's starting to hurt talking about this homepage settings. All right, next, layout settings. This is basically your background color, and you can upload a background pattern if you don't want to use one of these. So, like for instance, if I chose the stripe ones right here, and I save this, looks like hold on, looks like we're not working. So as opposed to redoing this whole entire video up to this point, because that one little section, I'm going to press on. So for the time being, no, that's not working. I think we're actually going to remove that out. So just totally ignore this part. My apologies. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. Social section, this is really, really easy. Basically, if you enter your URL, this will show up. If you don't, it doesn't show up. So if I get rid of this Facebook one, leave it blank, I should say. Now we're gone, no Facebook. Pretty easy, yes? Typography, this is pretty cool. Basically, we can control our hyperlink colors, we can control our heading fonts, our body fonts, as well as our content, our banner, and our lists. So, first thing is hyperlinks. Let me see here. Let me actually go to a page real quick. And then let's edit this page. Let me get this thing, make this, let's say I want to make this a hyperlink. Add a link, update this. Let's see, let's view this page. Here's our link. That's what our link looks like right now. However, I can control that. So what I can do is kind of give it a color. Either underline or don't underline. I'm going to do no underline. Give it a rollover color with underline. So let's save this. Now I have system-wide default hyperlinks. This is great. So every time you set a hyperlink, it's always the same look, the same color. Okay? Let me change this real quick before I forget. Next is your headings. All right. Whatever comes with your theme by default, I recommend you leave it as that. People tend to start playing with their fonts, start playing with their heading sizes. Next thing you know, they got all these different font sizes and this craziness going on their site, and it causes problems. However, if you're feeling that you want to go in there and change some things, please do so. Really easy. Come in here, choose the font you want to use, and then go ahead and set it for each different heading as well as your color. If you're not sure what headings mean, basically if you're editing a page or a post, and let's say I want this to be a certain heading, if I choose paragraph, I'll see the headings 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're setting this by default. Okay? Next is the content. So this would be your body copy, basically your paragraph text, which is this stuff right here. What kind of font is that? What's the color going to be? Your banner, same thing. We can control all that. And then your lists will be like your bullets. So for instance, right now, if you look over here, you'll see this bullet is this thing right here, and we can see that on the home page, which is a list of bullets. See that here's a list, right? But we can play with this. We can change color, we can change font, we can change font size, we can indent, we can choose how much space is in between each one, as well as we can choose different types of bullets, a disc, a square, a circle, or, such as in our case, we've uploaded a custom one. All right. Okay, so that's it for the options panel. I know this has been a long-winded journey up to this point, and I apologize, but I had to make sure I covered everything. One last thing before I get out of here, really, really important, is this restore defaults. This restore defaults is system-wide for your options panel. So for instance, you come in here and you're like, oh, I'm going to change all these things, these fields for your lists. Make a mistake, you can't remember, oh, I want to go back to how it was. If you hit restore defaults, that resets the entire options panel. So that resets your general settings, your homepage settings, your layout, everything. All in this resets. So I would avoid that unless you absolutely 100% have to. All right, that will do it.